Hello, so once again you join me at Potts Auto Shop at Liam's place. I've got the Civic with me, who's being a bit of a problem child again. So I am due to be at Oulton Park on Wednesday. Plan was to take the Civic round, but it's now developed a really bad sort of grinding, graunching noise with the brakes, which is slightly concerning. So I'm going to stop by Liam's, see if he has any idea what's going on and see if I can get it sorted before the track day. If not, I might actually have to go all the way back down south and grab the Supra and come back again. So hopefully I won't have to do that, but anyway, let's see what's going on. So it's definitely at slow speeds that I've noticed it. Right. I can't tell whether it's from the front or from the back. Liam said the rear pads definitely need doing, yeah, which I know they do need doing, the rear discs and pads. But to me it sounds like it's coming from the front.
It is, definitely.
So I don't know what.
We don't need to go any further with that, really.
Yeah. but the front discs and pads have been done
recently.
Yeah. You can see the difference in the brake dust on the front to the rear. It's literally looks like they've got black front wheels.
How many track days have you done?
How many track days have I done? On these it's only been 2, hasn't it?
Good effort.
What, have I gone through them?
Yeah.
The front? No.
How many did you say? 2 days?
2 track days? That's unbelievable. What, just the pads, yeah?
Yeah, it's bad. Just to get away with it. Not quite yet scored them.
Okay, so the problem child is needs some new front pads already. I only did them, you can probably even find on the video that I did the front pads, or Liam did the front pads, only last year in July, August time I think. And already they need doing again, which shows that I'm probably a little bit too hard on the brakes. But that's fine, I guess these things happen. Problem is, I've got a very limited amount of time to get these done before the track day on Wednesday. So the plan is I'm going to drive over to Tegiwa. I don't know how to pronounce their name. Tegiwa, T-E-G-I-W-A. Go pick up some new front pads, and hopefully Liam will be able to fit them tomorrow. He says he should have enough time. The rears also need doing, so I'm hoping that they also arrive tomorrow and that Liam has time to fit them. So there's a lot of variables to happen, but feeling positive. We'll get this stuff done. I am working with the Knutsford version of the Car Wizard, so yeah, we'll get that sorted. So we are on Tuesday. This is Tuesday, the day before the track day. Obviously yesterday was a bit of a shock, finding out that I had to buy front pads as well as make sure that I have the rears ready to go. Thankfully, I'm going to go to Tegiwa. I believe that's how you pronounce it now, Tegiwa. And I got some front pads from there. Quite expensive obviously, but yeah, they are worth it. I can appreciate how good they are, having used them now twice around tracks. And also got the rears delivered. So again, all PBS. So now it's going to be all 4 corners will be PBS pads, padded discs, whereas before on the rears I didn't bother to change them. So as you can possibly see there, not a lot left on those rear right pads. I knew that was the case anyway. They were pretty much brand new, I believe, when I bought the car, but that was about 1.5 years ago, and it's done a few track days. Rears don't get worn quite as much, but yeah, they've certainly had their day. So new ones are going on. So these are the front pads, and that is basically not even paper's width. There's me going, I'm sure I can hear a grinding sound coming from the front. Yeah, it's your brakes knobhead. So the fronts are in. Just trying to get the rear discs off. They are proving troublesome. There's never anything easy on this car. batteries are finally off. Took a little bit of abusing to get them off. All 4 bolts were seized in and had to be basically hammer the screwdriver in and turn them out. Last one was extra difficult, required the use of a pry bar, but we got there in the end, or the lads got there in the end. Okay, so after the little scare, brakes are all done, they're on, ready to go. I need to go bed them in a little bit now. There's conflicting information on the internet and from various people about what the actual bedding in process is for these discs and pads. Obviously the front discs themselves don't actually need bedding in, so it's just the pads. So I'll give them a couple of stamps and go from there. And then track day tomorrow, so I'll see you then. Good morning, it is arse o'clock in the morning and we have a bit of a problem. The problem child is becoming more of a cursed child. This wheel here was making an almighty racket last night. I'll drop in some footage of the audio right now. Obviously you won't be able to see anything because it was dark, but I got a quick phone recording of the audio on a private road. So that's a little bit of a concerning noise coming from the rear offside. I thought at first maybe it's just like a sound of the new discs, you know, just sort of bedding in, as it were. I think it might actually be something a little more sinister than that, as it just got louder and louder and louder through the evening as I was just running around in the car. So I know Liam is set to do an MOT around 8 this morning, so I'm going to go meet him at the MOT testing centre and see if he can just throw it on a ramp and just have a quick look to see what's going on. If it's something a bit more serious, then we'll have to cross that bridge when we come to it. Yeah, maybe I should have just taken the Supra. Take it fairly slow now and have a listen, like when you're light on the brakes or whatever, it's really like vibratory.
Right.
It's weird, isn't it?
That is weird. The only thing I can think of is that movement in the bushing of this pin.
Right.
Obviously had to change thickness to potentially the caliper stand in a slightly different place. Or one side down, put the caliper over and it was sat in a different position.
So we're not 100% sure what it is. Liam's also noticed that the rear left has got a slow flat, so just to make things even more exciting, I'm going to have to keep on top of keeping air in that as well. So yeah, we don't know what it is. It's obviously very loud, so we can hear it in the car after you play with the brakes a little bit. You get them warm. It's a loud, like, vibratory noise. It could very well be, as Liam just said, it could be the guide bushes for the calipers. So the calipers themselves, I guess, are vibrating, which is causing the brake pads to vibrate against the disc. I guess that would make sense in terms of the noise that we're hearing. Whether it's safe to send it around a track, I don't know. That's what we're going to try and figure out. So we've made it here. The wheel hasn't fallen off yet. What Liam has done is swap the 2 pins over, I believe. So one of them's a bit more worn than the other. So he swapped them over so that the leading pin is now the trailing pin, so hopefully it should make a little less noise. It did make a lot less noise on the way here, but equally I didn't really push it too much, and then when I slammed on just outside the circuit, it did start making a bit of a noise again. But anyway, let's just take it around the track and see what kind of noise we're dealing with first of all, and go from there. First lap done. It is not necessarily fixed, but it wasn't making the noise around the track, and I took it quite hard then. I noticed that the brakes themselves do seem to be a bit sort of spongier, possibly. They have a lot more travel than they did before, and then that's probably just a case of sort of bedding in new brakes. It's not making any noises around the track, which is obviously good to hear. It tended to make the noises at slower speeds anyway, so I'm just going to keep an eye out on it and make sure that we're all good. What I did notice though, going around some of the corners, it felt like I wasn't getting VTEC around some of the corners, even though I was within sort of the power band. I don't know if that's maybe like the oil swilling around or something. I'm just going to let the car cool, check the oil level again. I did top it up just before I went out, but yeah, I don't know, maybe the oil level's getting a little bit low. It's starving itself or not providing sort of VTEC for like a safety kind of thing. Mostly it was fine. It is a hell of a lot of fun to drive that car around. Going straight out of the gates, even when the tyres weren't warm, it felt nice. It's been a problem child like nothing else. But when it works, it's a hell of a lot of fun. So we have this nice 86 with Cayman GT4 behind it. This is where we have Phil, Jimmy, Seb and Matt's cars. And next door we have some serious machines. So it's rare that you even ever see a Ferrari at a track day. Never mind 458 challenge. Absolutely no compromise on this thing. No, I'm good, I think. I'm also here with Ieuan today, who's taking snaps. A lot of Ginettas going around. Yeah, even more, yeah. Number 2 Ginettas, sorry. No, sorry, 3 Ginettas. A couple more Ginettas. That is beautiful. I don't want to go too close, he's working on the car, but another 458 challenge, I believe. We have this. I'm afraid I don't know whether it's a GTC4 Lusso or an FF. Either way, I'm a huge fan of this sort of breadband shape for a Ferrari. It's such a bold design choice. I can see it's a GTC4 Lusso just from the glove box actually. Very nice car. That is not going out on track, just in case you were wondering. Fiat 500 a Bath. Caterham. A diesel 1 Series. With another EP3 and a Mini. This thing sounds absolutely glorious. Note that that's a 22 plate car. Now I believe that they come out in March, the number plates. We're on March the 9th today. So there's every chance that that is 9 days old. A GT3 that's 9 days old, going around and spanking it around the track. This R32 Golf was going past before, sounds great. Such a lovely colour as well. Is that a Supra? It's not as good as mine. I mean, it's got a lot of bird shit on it, but it's a hell of a lot quicker, yes. I'm not against them at all, to be honest. I'm happy that there is a new Supra out there, even if it is a collaboration with BMW, but yeah. It's certainly been controversial. Very nice wide body Clio here. Don't mind me getting a couple of shots to you.
Oh, metal there. Yeah. So if you went against the metal there, you might be able to cry that.
If I've not got mine with me today, I would have got my undies on and spilled over the bonnet for you, but... I know, it's not a sight, trust me. I took a picture last.
They said it's an original Williams, but with a 172 Clio engine in there on throttle bodies, so there is a reason why it goes well and sounds well. Yeah, a serious piece of kit that. This thing's great. I'm afraid I don't know what it is. I'm not very good at these kind of classic cars. It seems so tiny when you see it in your rearview mirror. So simple inside. Just a steering wheel, gear stick and a seat. We also have another Ginetta. I've lost count of how many that is, but I believe there's around 7 or 8 or something like that. Maybe even more than that. This Merc here has been going around the track as well. What a lovely colour, and I really like these wheels. They look lovely on it. I can't tell from the reg obviously what year this is, but it looks pretty new. Very nice car. I can't decide if I prefer the Mark II to the Mark I, to be honest. I think the shape is glorious. Yet another Ferrari. This one being a 488 pistol. I get a little bit confused with the 458s and the 488s and the F8. And it's also met with this 430. So it's a little bit scary as you see these cars coming up in your rearview mirror very quickly. You've got to dive out the way because they're just going to go past you as if you're standing still. So that is about it from what we can see in the paddock. Lunch is just about to finish, I think, so we can go out and get a bit more track time. Just by way of a small update, I topped up the oil in the car. After leaving it for a little bit, I could check the oil level. It was low, so I topped it up, put a good 1.5 litres or something in there, just took it out on the track then, and it was so much better. You could really tell the difference. It was pulling out the corners, it wasn't hesitating, anything like that. So I think the car was a little too low on oil, and it was effectively swilling around, and the VTEC system is, I think, meant to be quite clever, where it will stop the car going from VTEC if it thinks the oil is either the oil level is not enough or the oil's too cold or anything like that. So I think that's effectively what's been happening. Literally, I just took it out then and it felt like a different car altogether. Even Ieuan, who, you know, has been in the car all day, he's just sat in it then and is like, I can really notice the difference. So I've solved it. Bit scary that the oil level was low, obviously. I did top it up before we started, but obviously I didn't top it up anywhere near enough. So anyway, we're good now. Carry on sending it. that's it. It's 5 PM, track day done and dusted. Bit of a mammoth job getting the car ready for the day. Scary moment obviously this morning, but to be fair, once again the Civic has come through. Yeah, we had a track day with almost no issues. I was a little bit scared about the brakes, but they turned out to be fine. Slightly scary moment obviously with the oil level, but that's all sorted now. As always, the Civic was a dream to go around Oulton Park. I think after being in the TT, I went in Matt, Jimmy and Seb's TT, you can see how much flatter that corner's than mine. There's much less sort of body roll. The centre of gravity in a TT is obviously a little bit lower anyway, but it has coilovers, it has Nankang NS2R tyres like the Supra, and it's quite noticeable the difference. So I think I've probably reached the limit of these tyres. So maybe in the future I might look to get some semi-slicks, with obviously the risk that it might rain and they'll be not very good in the wet. For now, I'll just put the fastest track time of today up at the bottom again, as I usually do. I feel like I probably could have gone even quicker if I'd have got a properly clear run and had just that little bit more confidence. The limiting factor is these tyres, I think. I believe that if I've got semi-slick tyres rather than these sort of asymmetric tyres, the Goodyear Eagle F1s, I think I could get a couple of seconds on the lap at the very least. So that's all for today's video. Thank you for watching. Subscribe if you want to subscribe. If you don't, then don't bother. And I'll see you on the next one.